Drop an Australian apple from 3 feet.
Then drop an American apple from the same height. One stays perfect, one turns brown. The reason why reveals a 20-year scientific project that changed fruit forever. Australia exports over 1 billion apples every year to Asia, to the Middle East, to Europe. These apples travel thousands of miles through sorting machines, through shipping containers, through multiple hands, and they arrive looking perfect. No brown spots, no bruises. Compare that to what happens at your local grocery store. You're picking apples.
You accidentally press one too hard.
Within hours, a brown spot appears. By the next day, it's darker. This is totally normal. Apples have always bruised easily. It's just what apples do. Or at least, it's what they used to do. But Australian apple growers had a problem. In the 1990s, they were losing 30% of their crop to bruising. Apples getting damaged during harvest, during sorting, during transport. Perfectly good fruit, perfectly edible. Just brown and ugly. Consumers won't buy bruised apples, so millions of apples went to waste. The growers tried everything. Gentler harvesting equipment, softer sorting machines, better packaging, more careful handling. Nothing worked well enough. The problem wasn't the equipment. The problem was the apple itself. Apples are fragile. That's just their nature. So in 1995, the Australian apple industry made a big decision. They would create a new kind of apple. An apple that simply wouldn't bruise. They partnered with government scientists, started a research program, and committed to however long it would take. Enter Dr. James Mitchell, a plant geneticist at the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization. That's Australia's national science agency. She had been studying apple genetics for 10 years. She knew that somewhere in the apple family tree, there had to be genes for tougher skin, for firmer flesh, for resistance to bruising. Her job was simple to describe. Hard to do. Test thousands of different apple varieties. Find the ones that naturally resist bruising. Figure out which genes make them special. Then breed those traits into delicious apples. Simple. Except it takes decades. Dr. Mitchell starts with what's called a germplasm collection. Basically, a library of apple varieties from around the world. Australia's collection has over 4,000 different types. Most taste terrible. Some are rock hard, some are barely edible. But hidden in those 4,000 varieties might be exactly what she needs. The first challenge is testing. How do you test bruise resistance? Dr. Mitchell designs a simple device. A mechanical arm that drops apples from a controlled height onto a hard surface, the same force every time. Then you measure the bruise, size, depth, how quickly it appears, how dark it gets. She starts testing, one variety after another, day after day, month after month. Most varieties bruise badly. Some bruise slightly less. A few show interesting resistance. She takes detailed notes, photographs everything, builds a massive database. After 1 year, she's tested over 800 varieties. 3 varieties stand out. An ancient Chinese crabapple, a wild apple from Kazakhstan, and a forgotten Australian variety from the 1920s. But all 3 taste absolutely horrible. Bitter, woody, nothing you'd ever want to eat. This is the hard part of plant breeding. The traits you want are rarely in the varieties people actually like, so you have to combine them. Take the bruise resistance from the ugly apples, breed it into the delicious ones. But apple breeding is slow. It takes 5 years before a new tree produces fruit. Dr. Mitchell begins crossing varieties. She hand-pollinates flowers, collects seeds, plants them. Most of the offspring don't inherit bruise resistance. They're just regular apples. But 3 trees show promise. They have moderate bruise resistance, and they actually taste pretty good. Not great, but good enough to keep working with. This is progress. This is what a breakthrough looks like in plant breeding. Small improvements,
tested over years. Meanwhile, he's also studying the genetics. Why do some apples resist bruising? What's different at the cellular level? She discovers it's actually multiple factors: thicker skin, smaller cells that pack tighter, different enzyme levels that control browning, stronger cell walls. Knowing this changes everything. Instead of just breeding randomly and hoping, she can test young seedlings. Because bruise resistance isn't enough, the apple also needs to grow well, resist diseases, store well, ship well, look appealing, taste consistent. An apple might be perfect in the lab, then fail completely in commercial orchards. She needs more testing. So she plants test orchards across Australia. Different climates, different soils, different growing conditions. And she waits again. Years of waiting, years of testing. This is how agricultural science actually works. Slow, careful. It grows reliably, resists common diseases, stores for months without degrading, ships perfectly. 21 years from project start to fruit in stores. 2 decades of work. That's what it takes. The results are dramatic. Growers using Bravo apples report bruising losses drop from 30% to under 5%.